There's so many rules in 40K, hundreds of events, and constant updates. Skip the learning curve of Warhammer and join the pros. Art of War is led by multiple world champions with decades of success. We teach clinics, stream games, and inspire you to succeed at your favorite hobby. Join our global community of gamers just like you.
Are we here? Are we live? Streams 2020-22! There were some beautiful moments in 2021, Seeks.
So many beautiful moments, honestly.
There's so many things that happened. And we couldn't just move on into the new year of awesome, beautiful, wonderful, great things without reminiscing and taking a moment to recollect on Art of War's first real year in business.
Yep, first full year. And
yeah,
heck of a year, honestly.
Hell of a year. Couldn't have done it without you. Thanks, all of you. Really, realsies.
Everybody's support has been incredible. Last year, we pretty much stayed on Twitch the entire time, started YouTube at the very end. Since our switch to YouTube, it's been a dramatic improvement in terms of us being able to interact with our audience, how many people are being able to view our content and hang out with us, all the support at tournaments.
All the comments you guys leave for us in those sections, the super chats, all of it. It makes us feel like we're really building a community for you. Our Discord server has been really going off. That's been awesome. I just love the community where you guys are helping us create over here.
Yeah, when you see the people typing, that is actually us. It's not some Art of War account manager.
That's true. That's true. But we're here to rank them all in the tier list of all tier lists of 2021. The top 10 moments.
Can we just appreciate this art here? I mean, look at that guy up at S tier.
Look at D tier being held down properly.
Properly.
That is some domination of D tier. Splitting hearts. Here we go.
Nobody could get in the corner like that.
No, I'm barely on the table. This is some corner play.
Oh,
overcrowded A tier. This is perfect.
A tier has too much going on. I mean, if you just crush the left flank, you make A tier.
Oh, you got the flamingos in B tier. That's coming in clean.
You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Boom.
ACO. I really liked ACO. ACO, I think, was one of the most underappreciated events that happened. I think for me personally, it was really cool because the first super major we all went to as a team. John and I went to Dallas. Prior to that was really thick of COVID, so not much going on. But ACO, Brad was there, all of us were there, and it's a lot of people. I'm from New Jersey, so I have that. I knew a lot of the boots on the ground at that event, so I had a special place in my heart. I've been to Atlantic City a lot. I had an amazing time at ACO, and then the team did pretty well too.
The team did very well. You were up there, Nick.
This is
one of the few super majors you got to play this year, and you performed.
I got second place. I lost to our very own Brad Chester twice. Got demoted in Drukhari land. It was awesome.
He became the sub Archon at that moment.
The Drakon.
But
it was great. I remember I was out till 4 a.m. every night doing Nick things. I canceled Siegs' hotel room. It was great.
It was who's that? Who's making charges on the business
card? It's a fraudulent
card?
charge.
That isn't me. Nobody else can make charges. So
he was homeless for a little while.
But yeah, I ended up placing top 4 with Tau.
Lost
8th edition
yours
Tau.
Truly.
Narrowly lost. I was going for some YOLO charges at the end. Didn't end up panning out. But it was a very good game. There's a lot of people watching that game too. People are very excited.
It's a great game.
Yeah,
you did a whole Unbroken episode on that game.
We did
much came out of this.
Unbroken. We did a whole recap of how it went down. So.
The Dreadnoughts all didn't do that well. That was just music to my ears. I'm never rooting against John or Jack, but I don't want the Dreadnoughts doing well. That's stupid.
And then that was also our first experience with the player place terrain.
That's true. No, that wasn't player place.
Oh yeah,
that was
LVO team
pre-player place terrain when you could just die turn 1. I remember I played John Damaris and all his multi-meltas, and I just rolled Feel of Pain 6 up involts. It was awesome.
To be clear, that's like the Sliths Nurgles.
That was so good. ACO, what a great event. What else we got?
Boom. Charity Hammer.
This was a fun one. This was right after ACO. This was in August. Big fan of Charity Hammer. We all went to Seattle. We raised almost $40,000 for toys or for Child's Play. So kids in the hospital get toys during Christmas and stuff. It's a really great cause. $40,000 is crazy. I've been involved with Charity Hammer for 3 years now. The first year we raised $5,000, which we thought was really cool. Next year we got $10,000, I think, which we thought was really cool. The goal was 20 for this year. We hit 20,000 in the first day. We had
Honestly,
40,000.
it might have been before the event started because they had started up the week beforehand. But this is put on by Colin Sherman and the excellent Best in Faction podcast.
And it's Colin's a really great guy. He actually started as one of my one of my OG Brown Magic original coaching clients. He was one of my first supporters, and he helped me a lot developing, because he's a professional person in real life. He's helped me a lot develop my business, my ideas, and I owe a lot to him. And then to see him go from just a guy who wants to get better at 40K to turning all this into a real difference maker in the world with 40K, of running a podcast, creating a community, $40,000 for kids during Christmas. Christmas just happened. It's really, really cool to see it translate into real world ramifications. It's awesome. It was a very soul touching moment for me.
I mean, it just highlights the power of the community in 40K, being able to bring all the top players together and get them to work towards the goal of helping out a really important charity. It's awesome.
We got some chat interaction. What's going on?
They're talking about all sorts of things.
All sorts of things.
All right. So that's Charity Hammer. Next up, the U.S. Open Series, Nick. Games Workshop jumps headfirst back into the tournament circuit with 3 super majors. They had Orlando, we had New Orleans, and then we also had Austin. And guess what, Nick? Art of War dominated. We had Art of War finals multiple times. We had Art of War, I was using Art of War dice on the stream. Somehow they didn't
have
our faces, the jerseys. We got the flamingo on the stream. So it was an amazing time. I did spectacular, right, Nick?
You did great. You might have won one or two or all of them. It's pretty cool. It's really nice to see you do it with 2 different armies at one point, 3 different lists.
3 different lists.
Different Art of War finalists and all of them. We got John in one, Brad the other. We had to take Manny out from the UK in the last one. Jack did really well. Mark did really well throughout the season. Both of them
in my run, I also beat every Art of War player except for you.
Yeah, I'm undefeated in this tournament. You're not the only undefeated one in GW. Don't forget me. I'm doing commentary out here.
Mike Brandt beat you at the finals.
Oh, that's different. You didn't show up to the finals. You're an incomplete record.
I love that people were saying that the U.S. Open Finals is like the Pro Bowl. The top players don't really go there. I was like, yeah, love your comment.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I really like that Games Workshop is taking event running seriously again. I'm a big fan of these events. They haven't done this in over a decade. They're the best events
that have happened. The amount of space in all of them. How well the
Mike has 10 plus years in running Nova. I think he's a great candidate for this job. He's done a great job so far. And then it means a lot for the community too, just to see JW get involved.
Look, this commentary team. I mean, I went back and watched the streams because I'm that type of guy, and man, the commentary, absolute ace. I saw tons of positivity in the chat about it. Being able to actually understand what is going on and clearly relay that to the audience. And explain the top player moves and break it down. I thought you guys did an excellent job at that. Yeah, but also keeping it entertaining and fun.
It is a harder job commentating than playing, at least in my experience. I put a lot more energy and effort into it, but I find it really rewarding, and people seem to really like it, so I like it.
All right. I like that. That was kind of the more serious part of the list. We're about to get some funny ones.
We're going to get some memes going?
We're going to get some memes going.
We're going to get some memes going?
All right. Codex Drukhari, baby. S tier the entire year. Oh incredible. The highest win rate in the game.
They came out, they were broken, they got nerfed, they were still broken, they got nerfed again, they were still broken. They got nerfed again, and they also got buffed, and that buff stuff is broken.
And it might also be the best stuff that they've had, period.
What is going on?
But that's not it. How does this relate to Art of War specifically? Well, guess what? The Nick Nanavati is a pro at making lists, okay? This guy is amazing. He's got pen and paper, and he's got his own spreadsheet on Excel. Neither of those work. So we get lists that are all over the place, that are
they work fine. I have been making pen and paper lists since I was in middle school, Seeks.
And guess what? John has been, at least for this year, for most of it, refining those lists. So before a lot of stream games, it'd be like, Nick, come on, you didn't do this points right. You're not allowed to take this warlord trade, whatever. So John,
it's so complicated these days.
It's every 10 minutes before a stream with the Nick list, John is in there typing away. But the best one was with playing Drukhari for the first couple times. The first week, we put a 1,700 Drukhari list.
We didn't know. I thought it was. I thought
Nick
I wrote
it was legitimately
2,000,
and it looked like 2,000 points. That's how undercosted this book is.
So I played with 1,700,
and he won. You won. What was the first game that you won?
I beat John's Knights.
Yep, you beat John's Knights.
I beat your Admech.
No, you didn't beat my Admech. That's a dream. But And then I had to play against it. Nick called out sick, and then I got put on the Ultramarines. John played the Drukhari, and 1,700 points of Drukhari wiped the floor with the Ultramarines.
That's right. Yeah, this Drukhari, ladies and gentlemen.
That actually happened.
And then Siegs, having never played Drukhari ever in his life, he and I had a practice weekend. We played like three turns of 40K, talked about it a lot, and then he won a super major.
Yeah, pretty darn easily.
I mean, you play against me a lot, but still.
Yeah.
And then I lost to Chester twice with Drukhari.
The book is insanely amazing, but
Chester, actually, we had him go to Las Vegas teams with Drukhari, and we figured every team would have answers to Drukhari because they were like the boogeyman, and every team did. And we were like, all right, Chester, you have to go eat the 18 Hive Guard. You have to eat the Admech. And he's like, this is the only tough match for me. We're like, well, that sucks. And then he still won all of his games.
And it's like, and not even that sweating, really.
No, he was like, that was supposed to be hard.
It's supposed to be hard, but I had a whole extra 2 Raiders for you. But I want to do one more Drukhari story, and it links back to the U.S. Open. And that was for New Orleans. Unbeknownst to us, we were in charge of bringing the Drukhari army for Brad, who was flying down and didn't want to bring his own.
That's good.
So there's apparently a group chat with this. I wasn't involved. Jack wasn't in there. John wasn't in there. So
what do you mean? This is just me and Chester.
It was like you and Chester and somebody else.
No. This is not what's happening.
So apparently the Drukhari army needed to come, so Brad had an army to play. Well, guess what? We didn't know that, so we're driving, and then midway through the call, Brad asks about his Drukhari army.
Can I correct this story, please? This is just a bastardization. So Chester was coming to New Orleans, and he asked if he could use my Drukhari army. I was like, sure. I was flying to New Orleans, not driving. The rest of the stream house was driving. I was flying because GW's got my back. So I was like, I packed up the Drukhari army. I told John, I put it by the door. I was like, John, I'm going to put this case with the Drukhari army by the door. Put it in the car when you leave. Bring it to Chester. And he's like, okay. So that was the plan. And then I guess Chester called hours later and was like, where's my army? And then John had to turn around. Keep going.
He had to turn around. And we were like 2.5 hours into a 5-hour drive. So about halfway there. So we got there like 11 p.m. It was absurd. Brad was lucky I wasn't driving because I was just like, I would call anybody who's nearby in New Orleans, and whatever army they have, Brad will play that. John was nice enough to turn around.
I would have lost my mind. I would have. I'm so happy I flew. I somehow dodged all this. If that was my travel fate, and then like the 9-hour drive home with Waffle House that I heard about, if that was my fate, I would have died that weekend. I would have died in New Orleans.
And then there's one more good Drukhari story, and that is Nick packed Brad's army for ACO and forgot the Chronos.
I forgot one Chronos.
Forgot one Chronos. Or the team event. It was the team event. Yeah. Forgot a Chronos, so Brad had to play down a Chronos that event.
He didn't play down. He played with a base, and somehow this just worked. We were ready to play down a Chronos, but everyone was nice. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Oh, there's Brad. What's he saying?
He's saying the tourney I found out you didn't actually like me.
Brad, you earned that.
That was also the event Jack had 4 teeth pulled.
Oh yeah,
the day before.
I can't believe Jack even went. That was, you guys. That whole trip. I'm so glad I separated. This is why I separate myself from Eugenie's trips. Just chaos happens on your side. You guys travel, some bad things happen. I travel, nothing.
I win events, bad things happen.
You win events, your travel gets messed up. I don't win events because I'm commentating. My travel doesn't get messed up. It's easy.
Are you ready for this next one?
No.
Yeah. So Nick has... This was a bet from last year. Okay? Nick had to... You want to explain the bet?
I don't remember what the bet was.
Wasn't it the history exam?
Oh, is that this one? Okay, so Siegs is a history professor, a connoisseur of history. And I was talking to Mad Smack, which I cannot back up, but that's what it was. And I was like, I know history, so I agreed to take his history final, and so did John. And whoever did better would get a prize. So John would have to, if I lost this bet, I had to watch Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers extended edition and write an essay on it. Which I've seen this movie, the non-extended edition, and it's horrendously long, and I don't want to watch it again. Extended and then an essay, no. And they were like going to take my phone away and all kinds of horrible stuff. If I won, then John would sleep in the closet, the Harry Potter closet. But John's better history than me. Who would have thought? All right, keep going.
So what ends up happening is Nick has to watch all the extended editions of The Lord of the Rings and write essays. And so we came up with some good essay topics. He did the Fellowship one pretty soon after. And then Two Towers, it took us a while to actually wrangle him into the Two Towers, but we got him. We got him to watch the Two Towers this year and write the essay. And my God, is it the worst thing?
It is a great
It's
essay.
the worst thing you'll ever read.
No.
So if you want to check it out, it's permanently entombed in our Discord.
You know
Under memes.
Blake's wife, Blake from Unbroken, Blake Law, our Unbroken host. He has a wife. His wife read this essay and she liked it because it has a lot of great points and it's a really well-written piece of artwork. And you know what? Just because I don't have nostalgia goggles from 2001 when Lord of the Rings came out, when I was 7 years old, blinding my ability to see this movie clearly, doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Nick wrote his whole essay on the Ents as a metaphor for the overall Lord of the Rings.
It's a great essay. That's a really good line. That's a cool line of thinking. Ents as a metaphor. What the hell is that? That's some read and find out. It's some good stuff.
It's completely awful, but if you want to check it out, Art of War Discord meme section. It's in there. The Fellowship one's in
We have
there
a whole
too.
section of memes in our Discord.
Eventually, we're going to get Nick to watch Return of the King and write the essay, but he did paint the Harlequins army, so he doesn't have to do it. We got to get him into a new bed.
Can we talk about how I painted? We should have put that as one of the moments. Is that one of the moments? That should be a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to add it to this story.
Okay.
Mhm. So Nick did paint the Harlequins army this year, and
I grinded my butt in 3 days, just like I said I
it
would.
was like 5 days.
It was like 3 days, just like I said I would.
It slowly elongated to, oh God, I need to finish this.
We got there. I had a day to spare. I was on top of stuff.
All right, you ready?
No. What is this?
Another Nick story, baby. Here we go. Lost in the Woods.
Okay, I'm telling this one.
Yep.
So one weekend, this is really a two-part story.
Yep.
One weekend, many months ago, Brian Siegler, Richard's brother over here, he is all. If you thought Siegs was a robot, let me tell you, this is the most robotic creature that he literally is an AI. Anyway, he comes over and he's spending the weekend over here. He's also our accountant, so we're doing like businessy things, and he's like, beep boop bop beep boop, and I'm like, God damn it, Brian. So I'm like getting in shape and stuff. I'm like, you know what? Hey, Brian, I'm gonna go for a run this morning. And Brian's like, oh, cool, I want to come. And Brian's like a fairly in shape guy, so I was like, okay. I usually run about 3 miles in this like nice nature path around this lake. It's a circle. I was like, but don't stress yourself. I don't know what kind of shape you're in. Like if you outrun me, that's cool. It's a circle. If you can't keep up, don't stress about it. Just walk. It's cool. Low pressure situation. I'm trying to just get out there. So he's like, okay. So about a mile into this 3 mile run, Brian is like, I'm done. I'm gonna walk. I'm like, okay, Brian. It's just a circle around the lake. Just see you back at the car. So I go and I continue my run, finish up in like 20 minutes. Brian, nowhere to be found. But of course he's walking. So I was like, I'll just backtrack a little bit. I'll run into him. So I backtrack like a mile. I'm like, no, I needed to have run into him by now. So then I'm like, he must have just gotten lost and gone back to the car. Turned around maybe. So go back to the car. No Brian. I'm like, well, I just backtracked the thing and I'm at the car and there's no Brian. So I call him. Of course he doesn't have his phone. Why would the robot bring a phone? So then I call Siegs and I'm like, I lost your brother. And he's like, what does that mean? So now we're looking for Brian. And then like hours go by. I'm starving. I am literally starving. We went for a run at like 11 in the morning. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm just walking through trees now looking for Brian. And I haven't eaten anything after just running and walking for hours. Starving. And Brian eventually just calls me. He's like, Nick, I'm back home. I got an Uber from this dude.
So it's 3 interconnected parks. And he just happened to go on the trail to a different entire park.
Yeah, circle around the lake. Can't follow those simple instructions. So it gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better. So fairly recently, we had Mr. Adam Camilleri, our resident Australian, move in from Australia. And he's all into getting in shape too. So I'm like, okay, same exact thing. And I know I've made this mistake before with Brian, so we're not going to make it again. So I'm like, okay, we're going to take this run around the lake. It's about 3 miles. I'll go with you. Hold your hand if we need to. That way you don't get lost. I'll show you how it's done. So we do this, and he makes the point. He makes a real concerted effort to never like fall back too far behind me, so I'm out of his line of sight. We keep up. We do the whole thing together pretty much. We get around the lake, all 3 miles. We go home. 2 days later, I'm like, hey Adam, I'm gonna go for another run because we're trying to get in shape here. He's like, awesome, let's do it again. So 2 days later, just 2 days later, I'm like, I'm just gonna go. Don't feel like if you can't keep up, you can't keep up. I mean, it's a circle around the lake. We just did it. It's a circle. So we run. Adam gets lost. Stream game gets delayed for an hour. John's freaking out. Charlie's on a search and rescue mission. I'm screaming in the trees for an Australian man who, of course, doesn't have a phone. Why doesn't anyone bring phones? I bring my phone. I'm in the trees. How else do I track how far I run? How does no one use phones? This is 2022.
Apparently, Nick's directions, if you get any directions from him, just ignore them.
It's just a circle around the lake since you've done it with me.
It's not a circle.
It's a circle.
It's a winding path. It's a labyrinthine.
It's a circle. Why do I keep losing our staff in the forest?
Nick is trying to slowly cull the Art War staff, getting them lost in the woods.
Oh no.
All right. We're not done with Nick's stories.
This one's yours.
Boom!
This
Perfectly.
is John's story.
This is John's story. This is a story from last year. Nick's favorite tea is mint tea. So
No. I hate mint tea. I hate mint as a flavor. It's a terrible flavor.
Ever see him at a tournament, make sure you get a mint tea.
Do not.
Loves it. Anyway, so Nick is an expert apparently at making tea, unbeknownst to us. And, you know,
It's in my blood.
We're having a game night. We're playing some board games. We're having a great time. Nick's going to go make tea. He hasn't made it in a while. All right. Usually he just buys it, does the easy thing, but he's going to actually, you know, put some real effort into this, right? So the first pot, Nick walks away for like a minute and all of a sudden boils over.
Yeah,
everywhere.
their stove like
All
it
over the
wasn't
stove.
bubbly. It was like just here's some it's warming up, whatever. I can walk away for a minute, no problem.
All right, first time, shame on the stove, right?
Shame on the stove.
So he's like, okay, well, sure, that's wasted. I just wasted an entire roll of paper towels cleaning all this up. We're gonna go again.
Who buys the paper towels?
We're going again. That's when I stopped buying paper towels, to be clear. But we're going again. And so he's making it again. Turns away literally for 30 seconds, walks into a different room for some unknown reason, boils over. Second pot of tea back to back, everywhere again. Awesome. Gives up on the tea, as Nick does. But next morning, he's feeling brave.
We're gonna do this again. We're not losing the tea.
I literally just wake up, walk into the kitchen. As soon as I walk in, Nick looks at me, says good morning, tea's boiling over.
I went away literally to say good morning to Cease.
And it just boils.
I'm done. There's a curse in this house.
Hasn't made tea since then.
There's a curse in this house.
So if you want to get Nick tea at a tournament, mint tea, do it. Right?
Oh.
All right, next up.
Oh, Bella.
Stream puppy.
Stream puppy. Where is the stream puppy? Oh, she's wonderful. We got a stream puppy. That's my proudest moment. This is my daughter. I love her. This is Bella. Hello.
She's also a force of destruction.
I mean, she's a real force of chaos. Her real name is Bellacore. I mean, she's claimed 3 flip-flops, a shoe, a bed. Many of my suits have been pooped on. The first night she was here, she pooped 7 times. She's a trail of destruction. I had to do $80 of Instacart for Bella toys because she just destroyed them all in 2 days. It's been an adventure, but like, look at her.
Look at those eyes. I found the cutest picture.
I mean, this is a great picture. This is going. We're gonna make a puppy calendar of just Bella. This is one of them.
But she is a wonderful puppy, and she's what, 50 pounds now?
She's 50 pounds. She's
Still
big.
growing.
She needs to stop.
She's about to become the big spoon.
She already she just takes up most of my bed. I don't really sleep anymore.
All right, we're gonna end it on a couple 40K moments. Ready for this, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
Balance update. The balance data slate. Games Workshop came out with a balance data slate at the end of the year, and they have committed next year to doing quarterly updates. Quarterly updates, Nick.
That's pretty cool.
That's in addition to the FAQs they do, in addition to the chapter proofs, I assume. So this is big, okay? We can only go up from here. The first one, they kind of missed the nail on the head for Drukhari, but they did good work on AdMech and Orcs. So, you know, they help buff up Knights.
I'm just happy to see some consistency, some promise, some direction. I think this is a good step in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know, that's all. I'm about that.
I think
I'm about that.
One of the worst things about how they run their company is the lack of a roadmap. This at least gives us a roadmap for balancing, which the community very much values. So I'm glad. I love this, and it's something we're going to look forward to next year.
For sure.
And then we're going to end it on this, Mr. Nanavati. Not that.
What is this? Oh, this had to be
The most epic Art of War duel. Farsight versus
Fate Weaver,
Fate Weaver.
undefeated versus Tao. Undefeated on our channel. Undefeated Siegs. Fate Weaver.
I said at the beginning of the game, Farsight will kill Fate Weaver in combat. That's the only way Fate Weaver will die.
Fate Weaver killed the Town R and still won the game. He just left. He went back to the warp. He's just done.
He is stuck in the Chaos Sword that Farsight wields. The Dawn Blade.
No, Farsight is literally a scum stain on a splitting heart.
Farsight is the hero of the Empire.
No, he's a dweeb.
Also, the Town R still lives in your room. You have more Town models in your room.
I'm getting that thing next week. that thing is gone.
But
we are free from our
We
shackles.
plan to continue this. Nick already said put it on the schedule for when Tao get the new book. Putting it back.
No.
You're walking back on that?
What, the Fate Weaver versus Tao?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're done. Fate Weaver's never losing a game on our stream.
He said as soon as the new Tao Codex, put it back on
Put
the
him
list.
back.
It's
I
done.
don't care. It's done. It's done.
But those are some of our favorite moments. Obviously, I'm sure everybody else has some awesome moments.
Let us know what you
2021.
think was a really cool moment in 2021. What you're looking forward to in 2022. Siegs, what are we looking forward to in 2022?
I am definitely looking for a full, tournament slate. So really looking forward to more of the Games Workshop events in particular. They were my favorite from last year. Love the consistency of those events, and hopefully we get more. They haven't announced any, but you have to assume the first year was a pretty good success. That hopefully they'll be coming back with some more.
I'm really excited for Warhammer culture. You can see like a lot of celebrities are getting involved. We've seen like Henry Cavill, Tom Holland, and Sheeran. Yours truly got noticed in a New York Times article. This is really cool stuff out here. Our hobby that we all share has never gotten this kind of level of notoriety and mainstream media attention. And I'm really, sky's the limit for where we can take this. So I'm super excited for all that.
I'm pumped for WTC as well. World Team Championships. I'm on Team USA. John's on Team USA. Brad is a coach, hopefully a player. We got a pretty solid team.
I'm retired.
Nick is retired, but maybe he'll commentate. You never know.
You never know.
Maybe they'll ask.
You never know.
But tons of good stuff to look forward to. Obviously, tons of codexes are coming. We've got GSE Custodies coming soon. Tau on the way. Eldar Chaos. It's coming. Nick, Fate Weaver's going to be updated to be even worse somehow.
Fatey holding up D tier.
There he is. So hopefully you enjoyed this little fun top 10 moments. If you had other top 10 moments, let us know in the chat below. Give us a like. Check out all the content we're putting out. We're putting out a Fundamentals of 40K video series. So I believe the first 4 videos have been released, and more each day.
And don't forget, in the Worm, we're just starting off Brad's Road to LVO show. So if you want to follow along his personal journey, all of his troubles, his turmoils, his decisions, and what to bring, check it out in the Worm. That, along with all kinds of other content, coaching games,
so many LVO
clinics,
prep matches.
matches.
We're starting this Thursday. I'm putting AdMech on the table against Jack's Black Templars. He wants to stress test the Black Templars. Can they handle the new updated AdMech? We're gonna find out.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you later.
See you next time.